Someone tried to bring an emotional support peacock on an airplane. That's not a joke. People claimed all sorts of things, peacocks, pigs, turkeys, even alligators, as emotional support animals. The chaos got so bad that the Department of Transportation started a formal process to fix it. They proposed new rules. People submitted comments. Over 400 argued that miniature horses should be allowed as service animals. Airlines warned that horse hooves could puncture evacuation slides in an emergency. The agency had to read every comment, weigh safety against accommodation, and explain its decision. That process, notice and comment rulemaking, is how most federal rules get made, and it affects your life more than you probably realize. Here's how it works. Step 1. The agency publishes a notice of proposed rulemaking in the Federal Register, the government's daily publication where agencies communicate with the public. Step 2. The agency opens a comment period, usually 30 to 60 days. Anyone can submit a comment. You, me, industry groups, advocacy organizations, anyone. Step 3. The agency reads every comment. For major rules, this can be thousands or even millions of comments. Step 4. The agency revises the rule if necessary and publishes the final version with a preamble, a detailed explanation of their reasoning, their response to significant comments, and their justification for every choice. Step 5. The rule becomes law, usually 30 days after publication, but even then, it can still be challenged in court. Here's what most people don't understand. Comments aren't votes. If 1 million people submit comments saying, "I don't like this rule," the agency doesn't have to change it. They're not taking a poll. What they're looking for is information they might have missed, practical problems, unintended consequences, better alternatives, scientific data. "I don't like this" doesn't help them improve the rule. "This will create problems for X reason. Here's data showing Y, and here's an alternative approach Z," that gets their attention. The miniature horse advocates made substantive arguments. Horses live 25 years versus 5 to 7 active years for dogs. They're naturally sensitive to glucose levels, making them excellent diabetic alert animals, and they can be potty trained. The agency had to acknowledge and respond to every significant argument, even though the final rule ended up excluding horses. So why go through all this if the agency can still do what it wants? Because courts are watching. If someone challenges a rule, the court asks, did the agency consider the relevant factors? Did it respond to significant comments? Did it give a reasoned explanation? If the agency just said, "We don't like miniature horses," that would be arbitrary and capricious, and a court would strike down the rule. The comment process creates a record. It forces agencies to confront arguments they might have avoided. Even if the miniature horse advocates lost, their comments forced the agency to justify its decision more thoroughly. That justification matters. It's the difference between "we decided" and "here's why we decided." The backup camera in your car? Notice and comment rulemaking. Nutrition labels on food? Notice and comment. Workplace safety standards? Same process. These aren't suggestions. Agency rules are law. Break them and you can be fined, shut down, or even in some cases criminally prosecuted. The process is slow. The backup camera rule took 4 years from proposal to final rule, but it produces better outcomes than agencies making decisions behind closed doors. And here's the thing, you can participate. Anyone can submit a comment. You might know something the agency doesn't, how rules work in practice or unintended consequences in your community. But here's what we haven't covered. What happens when agencies skip this process? What's the difference between a rule and a guidance? How do you actually find proposed rules and submit comments? That's the full podcast episode. Administrative Remedies, Episode 5, the notice and comment process. Link in the description. And if you want to understand why agencies have this power in the first place, start with Episode 1.